Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today I'm going to talk about some Bitcoin bottom indicators because it's been brought to my attention. There are a lot of them, actually about a half dozen, that indicate that we are near the bottom or we are at the bottom, and a major rally is right around the corner. So let's do this. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Do streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Had a pretty good chat last night with you guys. A pretty good stream. And you know what? Hopefully I helped cool some minds, cool some heads, and made you guys stay focused on staying in the game and staying with crypto. Well, today I'm going to add a little bit more to it because there are a lot of bottom indicators. So let's do this. Bitcoin is at 46.6. This morning was a little bit higher. It was almost around 48. Right, and then the equities market started coming down, so it kind of pulled Bitcoin down with it. So let's start out with what's going on with the equities market. Well, we still have this Fed decision that is coming. They're starting to talk this today. It's going to be a 2-day discussion. And tomorrow, Fed Chairman Powell will come out and say what they're going to do. Are they going to taper sooner than expected? Are they going to raise rates sooner than expected? I think that's the big question mark. I was talking to someone this morning, and he told me that normally the markets price in these kind of moves, right? They kind of predict whether or not something like this will happen. But right now, it's kind of like 50-50, right? Tech market hasn't been doing too well. Obviously, Bitcoin hasn't been doing too well because of this, but we will see. There's a lot of implications in terms of raising the rates faster than expected. So we don't know. We don't know. Is it going to be announced so that rates will come sooner than expected in 2022? Maybe Q1, Q2 rather than like Q4? We just have to wait and see, right? Kind of like standstill movement, which is why I think Bitcoin is kind of just going sideways right now, which is fine. But that is going on. Of course, we have this. Now, the World Health Organization is saying that Omicron is spreading at the fastest rate ever in history of any COVID variant. So that is very, very scary at face value. But then you look at what's going on behind the scenes and you realize, well, doctors are all saying this is a very mild variant. And they're also saying that because of how mild Omicron is and how fast it's spreading, this could be the greatest thing for the planet in terms of catching on and getting natural immunity from COVID. So actually, this could be a blessing in disguise, although right now it seems like it's still not. And a lot of people are still thinking that this is very, very bad. So we still have this FUD going on, right? So these two, among many others, there's still a lot of stuff that is causing doubt and causing fear, which is why you look at the fear index. It's at 21, which is actually lower than last night. Last night was a lot more fearful, and it was at 27. And today, it's down even more at 21. So I do have something to say about this, too, because this is normally a really good bottom indicator. So moving on. So what are some positive news about Bitcoin? All right. First of all, let me lead with this. Bloomberg is coming out, right? And they're staying with their bullish stance. They say Bitcoin is still on its way to $100,000. And I believe this. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. And now it looks like it's going to be 2022. We still have 2 full weeks, more than 2 full weeks in December. So we still have time to make a significant rally, but to more than double from here, maybe that 2 weeks is a little bit too soon. But we have seen crazier times before. I'm telling you, we have seen some crazy pumps before with Bitcoin. But however, scrolling through this, Bloomberg basically sums it up. The reason why Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000 is increasing demand versus decreasing supply. And this is what I've been telling you guys for the last 4 years. The real reason why Bitcoin goes up in price is because supply is decreasing due to the halving events, due to the lost Bitcoins, due to the miners holding all their Bitcoins, and due to institutions and retail investors that keep buying and holding. So supply is decreasing while demand keeps increasing as global awareness and adoption is happening right in front of us, right? Ultimately, that's the only thing you need to care about. Increasing demand and decreasing supply. And I have a lot of metrics to show you guys that talk about just this or proves this point, right? But that is why they believe Bitcoin will go to 100,000 and beyond, and why I still think that is going to happen. If it doesn't happen in 2021, that's okay. It's going to happen in 2022. When it comes to Bitcoin, time is on your side. And the more patience you have, the more you make from Bitcoin. It's that easy. It's the simplest strategy of them all. Buy and hold. That is it. No trading necessary. All right, so I want to start out with that. So I'm not the only person that thinks that Bitcoin is going up higher. Now, this is also interesting. This is showing what the traders are thinking in terms of what's going to be announced tomorrow with that Fed meeting. Because there are a lot of people that think that, well, the Fed, they can't really do anything. Powell can't really do anything, that they're just going to continue their path and say, okay, we're not going to make any big rash changes. Well, take a look at this. Bitfinex bids, these are all the ones that are basically playing futures right now. Look at where all the volume is. They're all above 47,000 where we are now, right? So anywhere from 48 going all the way to 50. It looks like a lot of people are anticipating that tomorrow's announcement will be a nothing burger and Bitcoin will rally because of it, right? A lot of people placing bets. Look at it. There's no bets below 45,000. So for people that think that we're going to tank to 41 and 42, I mean, it could still happen. But right now, if you look at this, there's no one betting that. All the volume is above 47,000 right now. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, what else is there? Well, one of the fundamental things I keep talking about, right? Take a look. Number of addresses holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin, which is a significant amount. That's still close to $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. And that just keeps going up. No matter what, no matter if the price dips, it just keeps going up because there is a number of retail investors that believe in Bitcoin no matter what it does. And that's the right way to do it. And people that held from 2011, even if you held 0.1 Bitcoin, well, back then, Bitcoin was at like 0.1 cents. That's what I mean. So, I mean, people that bought in early are multi-billionaires, like the guys like Max Kaiser and others. And then people bought in at 2012, 2013, 14, right? Well, they're extremely wealthy. They could be billionaires or 100 millionaires. I don't even know the proper term for that. Then people who bought in 2015, 16, 17, well, they're multi-millionaires. And there's a lot of people that are 100,000aires. If you got in 2010 and 2011, 2021, right? So my point is, again, number of holders are increasing, and the ones that held the most made the most money. That's just that simple when it comes to Bitcoin, right? But this does prove my point in terms of there are a lot of buying still going on behind the scenes. This is from retail, okay? And I've shown you guys in terms of liquid supply, which includes retail and whale buys, and that is just blowing up right now. I don't have that today. I'll show it probably tonight. All right. Now, these are the good things. What about even better things? What are the bottom indicators that I've been talking about, right? So let's get to it. Number one, Willy Woo has retail accumulation. Oh, this kind of goes back to the previous chart about retail people buying. And according to this, retail people have not been buying this much since March of 2020, when Bitcoin fell down to 3,800. When Bitcoin had that black swan event due to when COVID first was announced, Bitcoin fell from 10,000 to 3,800. That was a bad day. That was a bad drop. Had you lived through that, everything that we've gone through in 2021 means nothing, okay? Because that was like a 66% drop in a single day, okay? So think about that. That was bad. And if you lived through that, You could live through anything. And if you bought during that time, well, you're up hundreds of thousands of percent, right? But to take a look at this, right now, that spike at the bottom indicates retail investors, and they're buying and buying and buying. And right now, it's the same point as March of 2020. So this could definitely indicate a bottom indicator. Bottom indicator number one. So this is very, very positive. And hopefully you guys have been taking advantage of the dip while we've been holding for here for about a week or so now. All right, what else is there? Well, our good friend TechDev just posted a brand new article on CryptosRUs.com. Again, this is why you need to check it out every day and subscribe to the Holder's Herald right here that you see on the right side. But here we go. This is also indicating that we have a bottom, right? You look at what happened earlier, going back to about May, I would say mid of 2020 to mid 2021, you can see that we had this very unique pattern. We were independent. We had a distribution top, right? We had a black swan event, right? That's important. We had a breakout and back test, and look at how the RSI is, and look at right now, right? Very, very similar. Same kind of pattern with an independent, having the top breakout, back test, and the RSI. I mean, it's not identical in shape, but it's very, very familiar. And TechDev does know what he's talking about. So this could also mean, yes, we are at a bottom and we are about to break out. So that's number two. Here's another one. Someone else is making a similar pattern, but with September of this year with right now. Again, I'm not going to go through all this, but this is looking at Fibonacci levels and this consolidation range, this channel that Bitcoin has been in, right? And you look at this on the 4-hour chart, the two are almost identical, and this is going to, happen in the same kind of magnitude and pattern. Well, then we're going to see Bitcoin shoot right back up to 69,000 and beyond that, right? So this is also very, very promising. Now, I did mention about fear and greed index. That's a good bottom indicator too. And I've mentioned this many times in the past, especially when we were at 30,000. And someone did this work for me. And you could see when fear and greed index stays in extreme fear, the longer it stays, the more likely it's about to bounce higher. Because that's usually how it works. Because usually people are basically panic selling, mass selling, right? Whenever there's an extreme amount of fear. And you could see it happen in when Bitcoin hit 30,000. And then it happened again when it hit 40,000. And now we're at 47,000. And the same kind of occurrence is happening. A lot of fear, despite the fact that we are higher than the previous two lows. So we're still making higher lows. So keep that in mind. But people are panicking like we're at 30,000. We're not. And look at how long 30,000 was. That was 2 months, okay? We lived through that, and it seems like most people forgot that we lived through 2 months of this year when Bitcoin was at 30,000 and briefly hit 28,000 a couple times. I think it just disappeared from people's memories. So we're at 47,000. We're way higher. We're 50% higher than that point, but people are treating it like the same way. It's not the same. It's not the same, right? But my point is, if you look at the fear and greed index below, you'll see, well, my camera's cutting it off. But you get my point. There's a yellow line there, and it's indicating that this is also a bottom, right? So this is another bottom indicator that shows you. You shouldn't be fearful right now. If anything, you should be greedy, okay? Now, a couple other bottom indicators. Before I do that, I want to make sure my super chats don't disappear. Let's see. There's one. Do you think the market is staying down because it's end year and they want to show losses before filing tax? No, I don't think into it. That does not play into. If you want to make money, you want to make money, right? If you want to sell and buy back for wash sale, you're still buying it back. So I don't think so. Germans still sleeping on crypto. Yes. Don't try to cover. I appreciate the super chat, but don't try to cover the news before I get to it. All right, don't worry. I got it covered. All right, what's another bottom indicator? Well, Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff's been a pretty good bottom indicator. Every time he starts trolling the Bitcoiners, and this time Michael Saylor, Papliano, McCormick, and Bukele, and even his own son, Spencer, right? Every time this happens, it seems like that's a bottom. And someone even correlated that, yeah, whatever bidder talks about Bitcoin, that's usually the bottom. And there's other charts where it's kind of like the CNBC indicator. Whenever they get really bullish, it's the top indicator. When they get really bearish, it's the bottom indicator. The same thing with Peter Schiff. So I'm going to throw that in there as a bottom indicator as well. So there you go. There's a lot of bottom indicators. There's a lot of patterns, right? There's Peter Schiff tweets. There's crypto fear index, right? There's a lot of things that is saying that we're at a bottom, we're near bottom, and we're about to turn. But ultimately, why I stay bullish and why I'm in it is because of this. Increasing demand versus decreasing supply. You can't take that away. This is what fundamentals mean. Fundamentals are getting stronger and better. And it doesn't matter that we have a few dips here or there or volatility, because Bitcoin is going places, all right? And when I say going places, I mean the moon, then Mars, then Pluto, even though that's not a planet now, and wherever. It's going to continue moving forward, and you don't want to be stuck behind watching this gravy train move past you. You really don't. And you don't want to let the whales steal your life-changing wealth. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to transfer your wealth to them. That's the most important thing. All right, a few other pieces of good news, then I'll get to Q&A. Number one, someone was just mentioning this, German saving bank. Actually, Germany is pretty pro-crypto now. They just opened up a rule so investment firms in Germany can invest, I think, up to 15% into crypto. Before they couldn't, but now they can. But now there's a bank that wants to offer Bitcoin services to 50 million clients. 50 million. That's a lot. I don't know which bank this is. They must have like entire Germany within them. Yeah, so it's big. German Savings Bank Association. So this is positive. Part of the fundamentals getting better. Part of what's going to contribute to demand going up and supply going down, because now 50 more million people can get exposure with Bitcoin simply by buying straight from the bank. Probably not recommended, but you could do so. There you go. There you go. All right, what else is there? NYDIG, one of the biggest custodians and biggest crypto firms out there that helps institutions get involved with Bitcoin and many other services. Well, they just closed a $1 billion fund, valuing them at $7 billion. And why this is important is because even with Bitcoin uncertainty right now among people who are, fearful, the firm and investors are not. Investors just poured in $1 billion into this company, right? If they were fearful, they would not be doing this. So this shows you the big money, the smart money, the Wall Street money, they're not idiots. They're buying as much as they can and investing as much as they can, right? This is part of growing fundamentals I keep talking about. It's getting better each and every day. Now, a few other things about altcoins. Avalanche, they added USDC stablecoin to their ecosystem, so this is very positive. Every chain out there starts with USDT basically, then they go to USDC because USDT can't be 100% trusted. So now they're adding USDC, and this is big. Overall, the more stablecoins you have, the better it is for their DeFi ecosystem, right? So that's pretty positive. Also, their daily active addresses is blowing up, and it keeps going up. So that's why I'm a big fan of Avalanche these days. And also Polygon. Brand new article on CryptosRUs.com. Again, Polygon is going to introduce EIP 1559. This is absolutely huge. We know what 1559 has done for Ethereum. In case I have to remind you guys, well, $4.5 billion worth of ETH burned within a matter of months, 4 or 5 months, right? This is coming to Polygon. Polygon has a set supply. So right now they're introducing this to their testnet. Later, they're going to introduce this to their mainnet, right? And what does that mean? Well, that means Matic is going to become deflationary. more and more and more Matic will be burned as transactions increase, right? So they're taking a page from Ethereum's playbook, which has been very, very successful recently. So this is very, very bullish news for Polygon. Of course, other chains like Terra already has their own burning mechanism, which is why Terra is so hot. Avalanche also has their burning mechanism, but now Polygon will get it too. Pretty darn bullish. Bullishness all around, okay? You guys have to view things my way. The glass is half full, not empty. And if you view it that way, you realize that Web 3.0 and these altcoins and DeFi are only going to get stronger. And Bitcoin is only going to get stronger. So that's why you don't want to be left out. You don't want to be on the sidelines. You don't want to transfer your wealth away. And if you can, you want to take advantage and buy the dips when you can. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Now let's do some Q&A. Someone's saying I'm dodging Dogecoin. Yes, I want to see how many people bring that up. Because, of course, this was also announced today. Tesla, or Elon, I should say, announced that you could buy merchandise with Tesla with Doge. And this somehow pumped up Dogecoin to the moon. But guess what he didn't announce? That you could buy Teslas with Doge. Why is that? If he's so bullish on Teslas, on Doge, why is he not allowing people to buy Teslas with Doge? Only merchandise. You know? I don't know. Does he really have that much faith in Doge? I know his interview with Time Magazine, he said that how Doge is a much better transactional currency than Bitcoin, which I can't disagree, other than I think he forgets the fact that Bitcoin does have a Lightning Network, and it does make Bitcoin a pretty good transactional, currency. However, if you want to make that argument, there's a lot better plays than Doge as a transactional currency too. And one thing I think a lot of people still miss out on, or they just don't care, someone like Elon, is the fact that there's one whale that owns about 30% of Doge. One person. And I think it was proven that was Robinhood. So think about it. Robinhood owns about 30% of Doge's circuit supply. I don't know if that's actually a good thing. But anyways, there's positive news for Doge. I guess Elon was able to pump Doge after all. But if you look at CMC, yes, they're up about 18%. They were a little bit higher if you look at it. They were actually a little bit higher than that. Terra is actually having a good green day today. Of course, most altcoins right now are still down versus where they were about a week ago. But some are still up versus where they were like a month ago. But you know what? There's a lot of bargains to be had right now. A lot of bargains. All right. XCal says, this is the reason why Robinhood won't list Schiff. It could be, because they hold so much Doge out there. All right, talk about inflation, supply chain, low wages, and unemployment. That's a lot to talk about. I'll sum it up with this. Inflation helps Bitcoin. Supply chain shortage, that doesn't help Bitcoin, but it does make things look more expensive. So people kind of attribute that it is inflation, but not really. However, we don't know when the supply chain constraints will get lifted. Like, for example, cars. The chips that's required to make cars. I don't know why it's taking so long, right? And it seems like things aren't going to get better in 2022. So car sales probably won't get back to normal until 2023. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? Who's really getting screwed is basically the small fish, the average Joes, the ones that don't have a lot of investments. They hold on, they work 9 to 5, make their paycheck, right? And then whatever little they have left after paying the bills and supporting the family, they put in their bank account. They're the ones getting screwed. That money that's not being invested is getting diluted like by so much every single year, right? With the money supply growing by 35% this week. I mean, not this week, this year. and then increased by what, 25, 35% last year. So, you know, what's really happening is the average people are really getting screwed, right? And their money buying power is decreasing because of supply chain constraints and because of inflation. Everything costs more as well, right? Like my friends and I were just talking the other day, talking about how new grads, after accumulating $100,000 worth of college loans, right? And that's conservative. A lot of schools, it was more than that after 4 years. But you come out of college and then you go look for a job. The average wage for, I don't know, IT or marketing or whatever has not gone up that much over the last 10 years. Yet housing has gone up through the roof. Yet, basic stuff, food, clothes, anything has gone up quite a bit, right? So it's like, it's almost impossible for a new grad to kind of buy the same things that we did or our parents did even like 20 years ago, right? It's just impossible. So wages have not been keeping up with inflation. Even cars. I know a lot about cars. Every single year, even though the car is identical, the car manufacturer taxed on about anywhere from $250 to $1,000 more. So if you have a 2021 car, and then they come out 2022 and there's no change at all, it's identical, the 2022 car will cost about average $500 to $700 more. And it's every single year. So you add that for over 10 years, that's thousands of dollars, right? So everything is just... So I guess my point of that rant is, if you're not investing, you're not putting your money that appreciates, that can hedge against inflation, then you're getting killed. You're getting killed. Absolutely killed. You may not even realize it, but you are. So that's why you need to invest, right? And I think the best investment is Bitcoin, but there's many things that you can invest in, right? Obviously, there's many, many things that you can invest in. But if you're just holding on cash with no investment, then you are getting absolutely screwed. There's no doubt about it. I don't like Olympus. I don't like anything that's similar to Olympus or any other fork of Olympus. I think they'll all go crash and burn eventually. Right now, people are addicted to them because they're promising like 90,000 APY. All of them will crash and burn. I'm going to warn you guys right now. Anything that offers you that kind of APY is not sustainable. I don't care how the algorithm tries to predict things. You will be screwed. So, there you go. Marco asked, should I cut my losses on DOT and move into something more active? It's always hard to do that, right? They've been sold off one of the hardest hit, big caps, right? But usually when you can't take it anymore with a big cap and you sell it, that's when they turn around. It always happens, right? So I would suggest, if you really want to get into something else, you want to free up that money, maybe do half or a third, or maybe 2/3, right? But leave a little bit left, because if it does turn, you're not going to be as frustrated with yourself. All right. My chat all over the place here. All right. Did you see that Bitfinex buy orders at 40K? It seems like 40K is what the whales are aiming for once they liquidate current leverage. No, I did not. I did not. Actually, I saw this, which was saying the complete opposite of what you're saying. So there's a lot of bids that's above 40K. That's all around 48, 49, 50. So I'm actually saying exactly the opposite of what you're saying. But if it happens, I would not be surprised. I mean, we had one a wick down to 42 before, right? But yeah, this 47 has been pretty strong recently. How much money did you lose in stock market before I got in crypto? In 2008, probably like 40,000. Yeah, probably 40,000. And in the .com bubble, probably like 5,000-6,000. I was a college kid then. I didn't have much money, but I lost a good amount in the 08 market, and it ruined me for a long time. Chainlink went live on Harmony. Well, that's good. That's good for Harmony. I mean, Chainlink should be going live on every chain. Every chain should integrate into Chainlink. And the more chains that get integrated in Chainlink, the better it is for Chainlink because it's building on a bridge. So dApps can utilize all the bridges as long as they pay for it, right? And it's good for Harmony because in order for these DeFi projects to feel safe, they need to use a reliable Oracle, a decentralized Oracle network like Chainlink. Charles, I don't have an opinion on Jade. I think they're an Olympus fork, and I just said my piece about it. Isaac says you're wrong. IT wage is gone. Well, that's BS. BS. That's 100% BS. I was promised the same thing. I got out of the dot-com bubble. All right, before the bubble went up, as an IT network administrator, I was promised $60,000-$70,000 starting salary. Guess what? When I got out of the dot-com bubble, I couldn't find any jobs like that. I had to go in help desk. Right? Help desk started. It was like $14 an hour. And these days, you can't. It's $18 an hour at McDonald's, right? So think about that. In 2008, when I was finally getting out of help desk, going into the IT world, system administrator, network administrator, they're still making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. And even 4 years ago, only then it started coming up if you had a lot of experience. But if you're coming out of college, you're not getting those six figures. So I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're looking at the lower end, maybe the starting salary, but upper end, right? Like you're looking at somewhere from 60 to 100,000. That would be average for a network administrator or system administrator, system architect. If you're in security, it could be a little bit higher, 120 maybe, but you're not getting any higher than that. But in that same period I just mentioned, houses have basically doubled or quadrupled, right? And cars have basically doubled and quadrupled. Cars have gotten so expensive that the manufacturers have to come out with a more economical, a smaller line, economical line, right? Because of how expensive the cars have gotten. So think about that. Anyways, all right, I'm just ranting on here. Hollow Ride, yep, I did see that. It's the very first IDO out of the launchpad from Elron, right? I think that Audi relationship is interesting. I didn't know it had a Disney relationship. Remember one stream in summer 2019, you celebrate BTC at 9K with a nice drink with us. Look at where you are. Right. I don't even remember where that was. I remember I was at Disney, I think. And I streamed because Bitcoin hit 14,000 or something. And I'm like, man, we did it, right? And then Bitcoin did fall down for 14K because that was a local top. I think it fell back down to like 10,000, but then after that, come back up and then look at where we are now, right? So that's the thing with Bitcoin. You can have up and downs, but time is on your side. All you have to do is just wait. Wait. All right. Max, I have no idea what that Katana Inu. Anything with Inu, I get turned off immediately. So, what L1 has all the checkboxes marked for you? Cheap gas fees, working DEX, big ecosystem, and great metaverse project come out. All of them that I've been talking about. Every single one. I mean, literally every single one has those things. You look at, of course, Solana has those things, but it's big already. Binance has those things. Cardano has not. So that could be something that drives it forward. But Terra and Avalanche, Polygon, they all have those. I wish VeChain had a little bit more of those things. Cosmos is building up that. Tezos is building up. Phantom is building that up, right? So I mean, they're all kind of like that. I'm waiting for Cadena to do that too. Harmony is doing that. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there. All right, I think that's pretty much it. BVS Finance, the only thing I know about them is They're the very first AMM on the Kronos chain from Crypto.com. But the thing is, AMMs are not doing so well right now. None of them are, right? So I know it's a newcomer, but that's probably the reason why they're not exploding. You know, same reason why people ask me why PancakeSwap is not moving, why SushiSwap is not moving. SushiSwap has some controversy going on. Why Uniswap is not moving, why QuickSwap is not moving, why any swap is not moving really. These swaps are just, they're more utility. They're not really that interesting. However, their yield pools, their yield farming does help mostly to lock in the token of the underlying chain. So that does help them. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I don't know too much about BSC pad. I think all those pads are all created by one company, Blue Zell or something like that. So it seems like they just take the same formula and just keep going with all of them, right? So I think it's about the same. Do you think Cardano can make a full recovery? Yes, I do think so, but you got to be patient. You got to be patient. That's how it is with Cardano. Many, many times it could be dead for long periods of time until it's not. I made that same mistake by not picking up Cardano below 10 cents. So, yeah. And Nervos is an L1 too, promising. They had released a L2, which is the EVM compatible chain, and that's more promising. And they have a bridge, and they have a DEX. So they're definitely building out. So they're promising on the way up. On the way up. All right, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.